Alright then, as we all know by this point, the Withered animatronics are considered to be some of the best, if not the best, character designs in the entirety of the FNAF franchise. Withered Freddy looking both terrifying and intimidating at the same time, Withered Bonnie's red eyes making him straight up terrifying and badass, Withered Chica being incredibly unnerving with the unhinged jaw and wide eyes, Withered Foxy being cool as hell, and Yellow Bear being just as mysterious and anxiety-ridden as ever. It makes perfect sense why people love them, but if you're doing the maths at home, yeah, they don't exactly get a lot of representation in comparison to, say, the classic animatronics or Springtrap, for example, which is where the Withereds Manifest comes into play. The Withereds Manifest was developed by Holla Porksmay. I really hope I pronounced that right. To be deserved representation for the Withered animatronics they didn't get much of in the games. There really isn't much else to say, to be completely honest with you, mate. The menu is pretty damn good in my opinion, switching between small animations of each character in the order of when you face them in the game. Bonnie, then Chica, then Freddy, then Foxy, which is actually the order they appear in the FNAF 2 trailer. That's quite clever. Also, before each level it shows you these little cards telling you what to do with a neat render of the character you're about to face and the loading screen being a small looping animation of said character. Not bad if I do say so myself. So, we start with Bonnie's level, which is so goddamn hard it makes you want to throw your PC out of the window. Basically, in Bonnie's level, you need to survive 200 seconds. He starts in Camo 1 and slowly makes his way towards you, and when he's in the hall or on the far end of your office, you need to shine your flashlight at him to make him go back to where he came. But the problem comes from the flashlight battery being way too low for you to reasonably beat it while using your flashlight normally. Now, I don't know if I suck at this game or if they didn't playtest it, but this took me 12 attempts before I finally beat it on my 13th. And even then, my flashlight battery was dead and he was in my office about to kill me. And I'm pretty sure the only reason I beat it is because I was being as stingy as I could with my flashlight, waiting a second and a half before shining my flashlight at Bonnie while also staring him in the cameras for as long as humanly possible to stall him to keep as much flashlight battery as possible. I get that's probably the point, like it's supposed to be challenging and fun, but I don't think it's supposed to be so hard it takes you over 10 attempts to a point where it's just frustrating. So yeah, not exactly a good first impression. The jump scares are pretty good though. Now on to Chica's Why are there two? In Chica's level, like in Bonnie's level, you need to survive 200 seconds. The Chica in the hall will slowly progress towards you. When she's right up in your face, you need to shock her to send her away. While the Chica in the vent functions a lot like Bonnie in the first minigame. Watch her in the vent camera, and when she's about to go through the vent, you need to seal it to make her piss off. However, I do think there's an issue with the camera system. I think that with the vent Chica, she's slowed down when you're watching her on the cameras. But the issue of this is that you're never given a reason to stall her or even punished for looking on the cameras too long by the hall Chica getting faster with no way to slow her down. Like in Bonnie's level, despite me hating it with a burning passion, at least I had a reason to watch Bonnie in the cameras. The reason being your flashlight battery is stupidly low and you need to stall them as much as possible so you can actually beat the minigame. While in Chica's minigame, you only really need to check camo free. I think it was like a limited amount of times you could use the vent, like at the shock, for example, building power or something, then there'd be a more of an incentive to check the other vent cameras. Of course, that's a half-assed idea I came up while writing the script, but you get what I mean. I'd recommend you skip past this section if you don't want Freddy's level to be a cakewalk. On to Freddy. In Freddy's level, you need to survive 300 seconds. You'll stand in front of a computer with Freddy off to your left, who'll slowly open his mouth before attacking you. To prevent that, you need to keep his mouth shut with an invisible hand crank by holding Shift on your keyboard. Golden Freddy is also in this level, in which he'll sometimes appear on your monitor with a random code on your screen which you need to decode using a booklet with the key. I'm not even going to sugarcoat this. This was the easiest level by far. Mostly because I already got on the codes accidentally by scrolling on the game job page. Basically what I'm saying is I'm not exactly qualified to talk about this level, but I do remember struggling with it when I played it a few years ago before I was making YouTube content and before I knew the codes, so I guess that's something. And finally, we got Fox's level, which is by far the best one in my opinion. In Fox's level, unlike the previous 3 levels in which you needed to survive a set amount of time, in this one, you need to instead turn on the computer in front of you and complete 10 tasks like in FNAF 6, each taking around 20 seconds to complete while you're staring at the computer screen. Now, Foxy will try to get in for either the door to your right or the vent behind you, and when you see him in either the door or the vent, you need to shut it and then shock him so him banging on the door or vent doesn't drain much power. I will admit it's a very stereotypical FNAF-y gameplay loop, but it works very well in my opinion. I really like it. I don't have many issues with this level beyond the computer taking way too long to boot up. I get it was to like extend the level time to continue with the whole each level is longer than the last thing. But it takes like 5 minutes, and the period while waiting for the computer to turn on is very tedious for me. Those are the levels I've read. Honestly, they're very hit or miss to me. Like, most levels are either good or just mediocre. And then we got Bonnie's level, which is... But overall, they're not that bad. Now, the visuals easily take the cake and make up for the very strange difficulty curve. They perfectly replicated Scott's style, and it's great. Now, I will admit the level of immersion from each level's design is very hit or miss. In my opinion, Bonnie and Chica's levels are just way too empty for me to feel realistically immersed, while Freddy and Foxy's levels are done perfectly. In those levels, it actually feels like you're in some kind of storage closet or room. And then onto the extras menu, showing character designs despite us already having official full body renders of each character presented, and 2 of them being the exact same character. And original Foxy? When does he appear? Oh, okay. The extras menu also shows some behind the scenes stuff. For example, Bonnie's level was supposed to incorporate the mads from the FNAF 3 Happiest Day minigame based off the mediocre melodies. There's also Freddy. Ha 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 ha, wow, so funny. That's really funny. Look at my face. I'm so lol-lamowing right now. This is such a lol-lamow roffle moment. That's so funny. I'm laughing so hard right now. There's also this weird question mark thing that leads you to a chest. In front of a man's eyes, a face behind words hidden in plain sight. After the words are uncovered and written, and after you connect the dots, tell me, what was the date hidden in that past? I ain't gonna beat around the bush. Holoproximate revealed as the FNAF 2 trailer day, and when you input the code, you get a teaser for a FNAF 3 Hoax Edition, which was cancelled for a lack of interest in the project. Damn. Overall, the game isn't too bad. Despite me hating Withered Bonnie's level of burning passion, the game did have a lot of passion and effort put into it, which definitely shows of how amazing the visuals are, and all the unnecessary but extra things they added, such as the animated loading screens. So before I set Withered Bonnie on fire for the second time today, I think I need to rank the game. I think I can only give this game 3.5 grossly underpowered flashlights out of 5. To be completely honest with you, I'm kind of surprised I was able to stretch this out into a 7, almost 8 minute long video, because like, the game, it generally doesn't have much content, but 7 minutes, that's almost as long as how I'd usually make a video. Damn. So yeah, see you in like 2 weeks, I guess. Bye.